Ever wondered how your credit score is calculated? Well, buckle up, because we're about to embark on a journey to unravel the mystery of credit scores. It's a number that follows you around, silently shaping your financial opportunities and, to an extent, your life's trajectory. So what exactly is a credit score? Think of it as your financial report card. It's a 3-digit number that lenders use to gauge how likely you are to repay borrowed money. It's like a trust factor, a numeric representation of your creditworthiness. The higher the number, the more trustworthy you appear to lenders, and the better the financial opportunities you're likely to receive. Now, you might be wondering why a credit score is so important. Well, it plays a significant role in your financial life. It's not just about getting a loan or a credit card. It influences the interest rates you get on these loans and credit cards. A high credit score could mean lower interest rates, which translates to you saving a substantial amount of money over time. But it doesn't stop there. Your credit score can even impact your job applications. Yes, you heard that right. Some employers check credit scores to assess an applicant's reliability and responsibility. So a good credit score might just give you that edge you need in a competitive job market. So far, we've established that a credit score is a numerical reflection of your creditworthiness, influencing various aspects of your financial life. It's like a silent gatekeeper, opening doors to better loan conditions, more favorable interest rates, and even potentially better job opportunities. So, isn't it essential to understand how this seemingly simple, yet profoundly impactful number is calculated? You bet it is. It's time to pull back the curtain on this all-important financial metric. Now that we know what a credit score is, let's dive into how it's calculated. Your credit score is not a random number. It's calculated based on 5 key components. Let's start with the first and the most significant component, payment history. Making up about 35% of your credit score, payment history is a track record of whether you've paid your bills on time. So consistently paying your bills punctually every time is one of the best ways to maintain a healthy credit score. Next up is credit utilization, accounting for approximately 30% of your credit score. This refers to the amount of credit you're using compared to the total credit available to you. To maintain a good credit score, it's generally recommended to keep your credit utilization below 30%. The third component is the length of your credit history, which contributes about 15% to your credit score. This is determined by how long your credit accounts have been open. The longer your credit history, the better it is for your credit score, as it provides more information about your long-term financial behavior. The fourth component, new credit, makes up roughly 10% of your credit score. This refers to how often you apply for and open new credit accounts. Opening several new accounts in a short time can negatively impact your credit score, as it can make you appear risky to lenders. Finally, we have credit mix, the last 10% of your credit score. This looks at the different types of credit you have, like credit cards, mortgages, or car loans. A variety of credit types can show lenders that you're capable of managing different kinds of credit responsibly. So there you have it, the 5 key components that make up your credit score: payment history, credit utilization, length of credit history, new credit, and credit mix. Each plays a unique role and carries a specific weight in the calculation of your credit score. Understanding these components is the first step towards improving your credit score. You may wonder, how exactly are these components used to calculate your credit score? Let's delve into the mathematics behind it all. Your credit score is a 3-digit number that's calculated using a complex mathematical model designed by Fair Isaac Corporation, hence the term FICO score. But don't worry, we won't get too tangled up in the complex equations. Instead, we'll break it down into 5 main components, each with a specific weight or importance. First up is payment history, which carries the heaviest weight at 35%. This component is all about consistency. Lenders want to see that you've made your payments on time, every time. So every late payment, missed payment, or bankruptcy filing can negatively impact your score. Next is the amount owed, which makes up about 30% of your score. This isn't just about how much money you owe, but also how much of your available credit you're using. If you're using a high percentage of your available credit, lenders may see you as a risk, which can lower your score. Length of credit history accounts for 15% of your score. The longer you've been using credit, the better, as it gives lenders more information about your borrowing behavior. The mix of credit types in use, from credit cards to mortgages, makes up 10% of your score. A diverse mix can show lenders you're able to manage different types of credit. Finally, new credit accounts for the last 10%. Opening several new accounts in a short period could suggest financial trouble, and thus can lower your score. Keep in mind, these percentages are not set in stone. They can vary based on individual circumstances. For example, if you're new to credit, your score may be calculated a bit differently. Remember, the higher your credit score, the better financial opportunities you'll have. But don't fret if your score isn't where you want it to be. There are steps you can take to improve it, which we'll explore in the next scene. Now that you know how your credit score is calculated, you may be wondering how to improve it. Well, you're in luck. Here are some practical tips to help you boost each of the 5 components of your credit score. Let's start with payment history. It's the most significant component, making up a whopping 35% of your score. The best way to improve this is simply to pay your bills on time. Sounds easy, right? But life sometimes throws us curveballs. If you find yourself unable to make a payment, contact your lender immediately. They may be able to work out a payment plan with you, and this proactive approach can prevent a negative mark on your credit report. Next up, we have credit utilization, which accounts for a chunky 30% of your score. To improve this, it's crucial to keep your credit card balances low. As a rule of thumb, try not to use more than 30% of your available credit. If you're currently over this, don't panic. Start by paying down your highest interest debts first and gradually work your way down. Now, let's talk about length of credit history. The longer your credit history, the better. So avoid closing old credit cards, even if you're not using them. And if you're new to credit, be patient. Building a healthy credit profile takes time. On to credit mix now. Lenders prefer to see a mix of different types of credit, like credit cards, mortgages, and car loans. If it makes sense for your personal and financial situation, consider diversifying your credit portfolio. Finally, we have new credit. Each time you apply for credit, it can cause a small, temporary dip in your score. So avoid making several credit applications in a short time frame. Remember, these tips are not overnight solutions. Improving your credit score is a marathon, not a sprint. It may take time and patience, but the payoff is significant. From lower interest rates to better terms on loans and credit cards, a higher credit score can open up a world of financial opportunities. Improving your credit score may take time, but it's worth the effort. So, buckle up, take the wheel, and drive your credit score to new heights. So, what have we learned about credit scores today? Well, we've discovered that credit scores are not as mysterious as they may seem. They're numerical representations of your creditworthiness and are determined by credit bureaus using a variety of data from your credit report. This includes your payment history, the amount of debt you owe, the length of your credit history, the types of credit you use, and recent applications for new credit. We've also learned that the components of your credit score are weighted differently. Payment history, for instance, carries the heaviest weight, making up 35% of your score. It's followed by the amounts you owe at 30%, and then the length of your credit history at 15%. The remaining 20% is split evenly between the types of credit you use and new credit inquiries. We've delved into the mathematics behind credit scores, understanding that the higher your score, the more creditworthy you are perceived to be. It's a scale that usually ranges from 300 to 850. Generally, a score above 700 is considered good, while a score above 750 is considered excellent. We've also explored ways to improve your credit score. These include paying your bills on time, keeping your credit card balances low, and not applying for new credit unnecessarily. It's also important to regularly check your credit report for errors, as these can negatively impact your score. In essence, your credit score is a testament of your financial behavior. It's a reflection of how well you manage your debts and meet your financial commitments. The better your score, the more opportunities you have to access credit and loans in the future. It's important to remember that improving your credit score is not a quick fix, but a journey. It requires consistent, responsible financial behavior over time. But the rewards are worth it, as a good credit score can open doors for you in the future. Remember, your credit score is a reflection of your financial health. Keep it in check, and it will open doors for you in the future.